Gerry Dee has been making audiences laugh for 2 decades with his stand-up comedy. He's wrapping up a cross-Canada tour and landing in our studios this morning with a look back at 20 years of laughter. Welcome here. I mean, 20 years is a long time to do anything to keep that grind going. What keeps you smiling, especially at this time of the morning?
Yeah, well, that's fake. It's I love it. It's, you know, when I started stand-up, I had no idea what to expect. I started it kind of late in the game. I was 30. I was a full-time teacher. I never planned this sort of life, and something I wanted to try. So I love it, and I think any stand-up would tell you. There's something about being able to make people laugh in a live environment, that's a great feeling.
It's a hard thing to do. Where do you test that out first? So you have that new material. You don't just go out and stand up and tell it to a crowd.
Yeah, no. Well, you do when you're, you know, I used to grind it out at the clubs a lot more before I had a family. A lot of times I'll just chat with my wife, and she's kind of got a good gauge, and she'll say that's funny, or, you know, or sometimes I'll just go on stage and try it. I mean, there's really no way to find out other than a real audience, and sometimes that's where you bomb, as we say. But you know, I've gotten through that phase of my career a little bit, the bombing. So, but there were many days of bombing. Many.
I think you've proven though that it's the reality of life that's the funniest. And I think, you know, you look at your comedy and what you've done, and it's showing real life reflecting back onto itself.
Yeah, I think I always find the best humor is when you can say what everyone's thinking. So a lot of things I say, as you know, we're as parents or married or play sports, you can relate to. So it's nothing crazy outside the box, but I think, like you said, a lot of people can relate.
Fair game. What's fair game for you now? Has it changed in those 20 years?
My wife and kids are fair game.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
nice. I'm sure they're happy about that.
Well, my wife has a little bit of editing ability.
Yes.
But I said, like, you gotta let me, you know.
That's the real life.
I gotta make money, right?
Right.
She's a great sport. She contributes a lot with ideas, and but you know, I'm a pretty safe comic in that sense. I don't go too far outside the box. So.
And social media, has that changed your world?
Yeah, social media is a great way to get information out about your shows. Yeah. The opposite, though, you don't want too much of your material out there, because then they'll say, well, why do I gotta go see them? Yeah. So I try to limit what's on there now, and you know, you unless it's a TV special, I try to not put too much out there.
But beyond promotion, social media, we've seen a lot of, especially Canadian comics, use social media in a really strong way, in that they, you know, just the way they live their lives is interesting to people.
You know, it's a stressful world. So when we can add a bit of laughter, whatever that is, and I realized that later in my career, that, you know, the TV show or the stand-up, people are watching. They might be in a hospital bed, they're laughing, and it takes them away from that, you know, some of the stresses or pains that we do all go through in life, with the ups and downs of it. And I think that's what a lot of, if not all, stand-ups try to do or do. Okay,
rapid fire questions. How to deal with certain things. As a reporter, I'm out in the field, I know how to deal with a heckler. How do you deal with them?
Yeah. Fortunately, I don't get them too often now, but you really you learn that on you know, in the moment.
Quick on your feet.
Yeah, I was quick on my feet as a teacher. Kids are a tough audience. High school kids, they'll chirp you, they'll go at you, and you better be quick or they'll walk all over you. So I learned that there, and I learned to play in hockey in the dressing room, and I think I just carried it on to the stage.
Absolutely. Pre-show rituals before you hit that stage?
Nothing crazy. I just have a little moment to myself where I, you know, sort of thank my personal people in my life, and then I go on.
You're not like the Rafa Nadal
No, I'm pretty no superstitions.
Worst career advice ever been given?
Worst career advice?
Don't quit teaching.
Wow. Yeah, that might have been it. What are you doing? This is the toughest business to go into. Stick with teaching. Yeah, that might have been it.
And finally, the worst advice you've given?
I would say I've probably given lots of advice. I used to tell comics not to swear, but I realized that the odd swear really accentuates a story or joke. So
don't do it now. I'll get in trouble.
I won't do it now. You probably have a delay. You probably have a 7-second delay.
Right, Heather? He can do it now. He wants to do it.
No, I don't want to do it.
Okay,
now.
thank you. Gerry Dee, really nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Gerry Dee, live on your morning. Thanks so much.